I'm Rebecca Wynn for Devil's Digest, here with publisher Hope Rubino following the spring game. So it was kind of a quiet night for the offense. What do you think really attributed to that?
Well, I think there was, first of all, really good coverage from the secondary and a lot of passes. Also, a lot of misfires by the quarterbacks, throwing a lot of passes that were too long. They were able to go in and complete some big passes to Ellis Jefferson. Looks like he was targeted about 10 times today and was able to go ahead and haul one in. DJ Foster had a big one over here, 57 yards. But I'd just say, pretty good coverage. I thought pressure on the quarterback was decent. Not much on the running game. I thought the defense did well over there. So those are probably the struggles in the offense. Really not indicative of what we saw all throughout the spring. It seems like the spring game is usually, if you see the offense barely score 2 touchdowns or score 10 touchdowns. And tonight was the former. Some of that, obviously, you give credit to the defense, but I think the offense really struggled a lot of phases.
So although the score didn't show it, the defense was kind of more, dominating in this game. Can you talk a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, I think you're seeing a lot of development from the young players. Ishmael Murphy-Richardson, George Lee, who Todd Graham really has been pointing out a lot tonight and also last few days in spring. So those are some players that really showed up a lot. DeAndre Scott had an interception, was called back because of a penalty, but he's one player that, to me, the second part of spring came on really strong. Todd Graham really likes what he does on special teams, but I really think in nickel packages he can do really well too. Then you have the usual suspects, Jordan Simone, James Johnson, really doing well. So I think I was just some of the players you expected to play well are doing well, but it's good to see some of the young players, as I mentioned, also step up in the spring that can really go ahead and have a big momentum that can carry them into fall camp.
Was there any surprises or any players that really stood out to you on either side of the ball?
I think, again, George Lee, DeAndre Scott are some standouts that are on defense. On offense, I would say that Manny Wilkins may have had the best night out of all the quarterbacks. Did a really good job scrambling, was more accurate compared to other quarterbacks with his throws. I don't think he's a threat to go down and seat Berkovici. We're only taking a very small sample size of spring game. But it's good to see him really play well. If you remember, first week of spring was really rough for him, and that second week of spring he really turned it around. And I don't think there's any doubt right now that he is the number 2 quarterback on this team. So those are guys that I saw on both sides. I also saw especially Matt Hawk. That wicked left foot spin really gave a lot of problems to Deshaun Gum-Hayes in the punt return. Again, not indicative of what we saw all throughout spring, but tonight was a really rough night. You'd like to go ahead and see that improve because we all know special teams is something that Todd Graham has put a premium on to go ahead and improve. And I really think, again, spring game, a lot of times it does not reflect what you saw in the first 10, 12 practices before that. And special teams really has made a lot of strides. If you came tonight, you probably didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it, but actually they're having a lot of strides in special teams, and I think Deshaun Gum-Hayes is somebody that's really going to go ahead and pay a lot of dividends in that area.
Great, thanks. And again, for Devil's Digest, I'm Rebecca Wynn.